Kita udah sampai ke posisi lagi. Lanjutin aja.
I thought this cave would lead to a village or something, but look, she's sitting over there. What should we do now? It looks like she's meditating or something. Oh, it's coming from that sensor over there. Huh? What's the matter? You don't look too good. Is the smell making you feel...
Nggak, kenapa?
What's happening? Traveler? This...
Puri itu tempat yang mana? Nih, terbang. Oh, ini kan mimpi mungkin. Oh. Suara.
Serious? The Traveler's been out for a long time now. Yes, you can relax. Believe me, Master is extremely knowledgeable.
Play.
If he says that he's going to be alright, then there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Oh, are you awake now? Oh, thank goodness, Traveler, you're finally awake. Well, we're at, Mrs. Gandharvaville. It was originally built by scholars from Sumeru as a place to rest in the rainforest. My name is Kale. I'm a trainee forest ranger. My master and I found you passed out during our patrol, so we brought you... Oh, no things are necessary. I didn't do anything, really. By the way, how are you feeling now? Any discomfort? Oh, that's Master's herbal medicine you're tasting. Before I forget, Master mentioned you should take more... Whoops.
Yeah.
Colin, what's the matter? Were you trying to retrieve the medicine? As I've already told you, you must be...
Sorry.
Now, the guide to Avidya Forest's edible fungi is clearly posted on our bulletin board. But if Farbode forgets which
Right? This is the second time he's come down with food poisoning this month. I'll be sure to give him a good talking to.
Yes, please do. If, on the off chance, Farbode simply enjoys having little
Ini serem banget telinganya. Nggak asli kan?
So, how are you doing? Feeling better?
Oh, this is my master, Forest Watcher Tainari. He's chief...
I already informed Paimon about the reason you fell unconscious earlier. It is common practice for Sumeru scholars of certain darshans to dedicate themselves to training and meditation in hopes of asking directions. You two followed a scholar named Hypatia into her cave. That incense typically has no effect on most people, but for a very select few, it can have profound effects on one's cognition. And very good. Now, answer me this. Did you feel anything after passing out? Say, any out-of-body experiences? Or did you see anything while unconscious?
Lihat pohon kan ya.
Kale, let the others know to stop bringing their patrol logs here for now.
Huh? Why?
Because these two will be staying here for the next few days. They can have my room and I'll bunk with Amir.
Yes, Master Tainari. Wait, hold on a second.
Sure, let me fill you in.
Dah. Oke, wifi. Oke aja deh. Lihat guys. Stabil. Oke.
Yes, you can relax. Believe me, Master is extremely knowledgeable. If
Oh,
he says that he's going to be alright, then there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Oh, are you awake now? Oh, thank goodness, Traveler, you're finally awake! Well, this is Gandharville. It was originally built by Scott. My name is Kale. Oh, no things are necessary. I didn't do anything, really. By the way, how are you feeling now? Oh, that's Master's, before I forget. What?
Kale, what's the matter? Were you trying to retrieve the medicine? As I've already told you. Now, the guide to Avidya Forest's edible fungi is clearly posted on our bullet.
Right? This is the second.
Yes, please do. So, how are you doing?
Oh, this is my master. Forest Watcher Tainari.
I already informed. It is common practice in hopes of asking. That incense typically has no effect on most. Very good. Now, answer me this. Did you feel anything after passing out? Say, any out-of-body experiences? Or did you see anything while unconscious?
oke. Lanjut.
Kale, let the others know to stop bringing their patrol.
Huh? Why?
Because these two will be staying here for the next few days.
Yes, Master Tainari. Wait, hold on a second.
Sure, let me fill you in.
Further observation?
No need to be hasty, as long as you have the capacity to judge between right. Based on what you saw after smelling the incense and losing consciousness, we can conclude, if you're skeptical, have a whiff of this.
Whoa, are you okay?
You're experiencing a similar sensation as when you passed. So even though your condition is stable as of now, if I were to happen, the rainforest is home to many fierce animals and hazardous areas. For now, I suggest you continue taking your medicine each day and avoid good. Now continue resting while I fire up another bowl of medicine for you.
Seriously? We just arrived. Paimon knows what, hey! Are you even listening to Paimon? Paimon's over here. What's weird? You mean how you're feeling now? You mean the vision of tree roots and red skies you saw? But if those were hallucinations, what could they be?
Apa tuh?
Well,
Oh,
considering how
okay.
unique you are, Paimon trusts your judgment here. But why didn't you say anything about it to Tainari? If you misjudge your condition, then there's a chance you could get worse, right? Huh? You mean that Tainari already knows that what you saw weren't Oh, Paimon gets it now? That settles it then. We'll stay, but it seems like asking Tainari might not be an option anymore. What do you think we should? Good idea. Kale's pretty friendly. We can Rise and shine! Come on, it's time to go find Kale!
Kemarin kita lanjut cari Kole.
Alright, next let's see your right hand, but please remember that you still...
Yes, I will.
Look, Kale, today's patrol will be a long one.
Where?
But I have a vision too.
Don't talk like that, Kale. This is not... Ah, there you are. Feeling any better?
Yeah.
Yeah, since I'll be staying here for now.
Seems you're not the type to sit back and take it easy for a while, huh? And if you're feeling up to it, you can be responsible for cleaning the statue of the...
Tenari, we're ready to head out.
Roger, I'll be right there. Alright, we'll be heading in...
Yes, you can count on me. So, Kale, what exactly can I mention cleaning the statue just now? Well, a forest ranger's responsibilities can be pretty tight. They handle a variety of tasks, like checking the condition of out. As for Master, well, today we can perform routine checks on the pack. Come on, Traveler, this way.
This way.
You can leave the task of checking the lamps to me. In the meantime, you two can keep an eye out for anything unusual.
Better one.
Nothing wrong with these two lamps. Let's move to the next ones.
Wow.
Oh, this lamp seems to be getting a little wobbly. No problems with this lamp. Good.
It's
The
a
statue of the Seven is up on top of that large rock formation. You must have seen it when you came down this road before. It's pretty high up there, isn't it? Don't worry. If you're afraid you can't make it up there, I'm sure Master... Oh? I guess I'll leave it up to you then. I'll fly up with you and help you with... by the way, Kale, do you... that depends. Are you referring to Greater Lord Rukadevata or Lesser Lord Kusanali?
What?
Huh? Greater Lord Rukadevata?
The bus?
Oh, is that the name of the former Dendro Archon?
Here.
Greater Lord Rukadevata was Sumeru's first Dendro Archon. She created the rainforest as well as the wall of Samiel around the desert. Her works prove to the people of Sumeru, she is not only a symbol of wisdom, but also of power and kindness. Unfortunately, she disappeared in a great calamity that occurred according to what Masters told me. The sages later found the newly born Dendro Archon to celebrate the reinstatement of their lost deity. The sages dubbed her Lesser Lord Kusana. Well, and then... Huh? You're not too sure? Yeah, I'm from Sumeru. Maybe it's difficult to discuss this topic with strangers. Oh, no, it's not that. I'm not trying to... Because you two know Amber, right? Wait, Amber? You mean...
Orang macam ganda ini jalan.
Yes, that's her. I once lived in Mondstadt for a while, and she helped me a lot during that time. There's no one like Amber. She lives life to the fullest while always adhering to her strong sense of justice. She's ready to answer the call for action at any moment. If you ask me, she's a prime example of a true outrider. She's the first person anyone coming to Mondstadt will meet. You can't help but be enthralled by her charm and enthusiasm.
Setiap
causing you
player.
to fall in love with the lands of... Sorry. I thought the work of Outriders is a little different from what you just described. Sorry. I was rambling on. It's alright, Kale. So, how do you know that, well, after I returned to Sumeru, Amber and I have in one letter, she mentioned that Mondstadt was attacked by a fearsome dragon, but the city was saved by a one traveler and their floating companion. I knew you two were the ones she mentioned in the letter the moment I saw you. But, so please know that you two, I wish I could tell you more about the Dendro Archon, but I had been away from some... That's alright. You've already helped us a lot. We had never even heard of Greater Lord Ruka. Oh, I'm happy that was helpful. There is one thing I want to ask.
Wah, tujuan pertama tujuan awal.
So that's why you're here. Don't mention it. We are friends after all. You both have my thanks.
Terus.
Now that Paimon looks at deity that's carved on the statue. Do you think she's supposed to be Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or Lesser Lord Kusanali? The name does seem to fit this. Well, anyway, let's get started on cleaning the statue.
Ya,
I'll fly up and... Nice work. That's a one clean statue. Let's head down and meet up with Colin.
lumayan dapat ini. Iya dong. Lagi nyantai.
Colin, we're back.
We're back.
Welcome back. You must be tired after all that clock. Yay, food! What kind of good... Hey, don't be a party pooper. It's not like Kale is a stranger or anything. I prepared a nice portable dish the forest rangers like to eat called pita pocket. What? No, you dropped it on the ground. Not to worry. I wrapped a few layers of oiled paper around each pita. They should be fine.
Tangannya kenapa sih si Kole?
Those pitas are amazing. Thank goodness you wrapped them in paper. I'm not one of... You really know how to cook. Since you liked it so much, I'll be sure to give you a copy of the recipe sometime. Yay! Thanks, Kale. Oh. So, Kale, don't you think that Tainari's a little... Paimon knocks stuff over all the time flying around the Traveler, but he's never said anything. No, you've got the wrong idea about Master. I've heard the veteran rangers say that Master is from some ancient and mysterious race that is no... Oh, by the way, you've heard of the Academia, right? Well, anyway, because Master does a lot of research on plants. Sages, the Master declines their offers every time, saying, Sumeru City is too noisy. It'd be bad for my ears. I know, right? Anyway, Master could have easily left the rainforest and take up a position at the Academia. But in fact, Master's the one... Really? Oh, speaking of Tainari, he was the one who took care of you. Paimon's still kinda upset, though. He kept scolding Paimon the entire way here. Oh no, I'm sorry. Master might have been overreacting a little. But, it's mostly because Paimon wouldn't stop yelling. Why, oh why, is he... Hey!
Wah,
Don't laugh! Paimon was Hey! Now even Kale's starting to laugh. Ugh, that's it! Paimon won't forget this. It's time for some primordial wrath! No! Don't touch me!
Nah.
Oh, sorry, Kale. No, I just... Kale, are you okay? What's the matter? No, I'm... I'm fine. I'm so... Oh,
aneh.
well,
Kole
it's
bocah
getting
freak.
late now. Let's...
Kole bocah freak.
Huh? What was up with Kale just now? And why is she in such a hurry all of...
Kole. Oh,
I think I'll stay here.
Ah, Traveler, you've returned.
Yep, we're back. Have you seen Kale?
Oh, Kale? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
beberapa kali. Guling.
Jaime was thinking all night about what happened with Kale, and still can't figure out what the problem might be. Maybe she's in a better mood.
Ah, it's you two. I was just about to go look for you.
Huh? Tainari, what are you doing here?
I came to check on Kale's condition.
Udah sakit.
You mean she's sick? How could she be?
No need to worry. Something as small as you could never harm her. Kale has been more excited than usual since you two arrived. A little too much so, to be honest. I suppose it's understandable, though. She has...
So, Tainari, what?
Let's take this conversation elsewhere.
Wow.
All right, let's continue our conversation here, shall we? To be honest, I hadn't realized that you're that honorary knight from Mondstadt until Kale told me just to clarify, what I'm about to tell you about Kale is not because Kale asked me to. And honestly speaking, I was against Kale revealing her past, but she insisted, saying you two...
So, Tainari, what exactly is
Right. Ever since she was a child.
Elazar?
Yes, it's a disease unique to the lands of Sumeru. It is characterized by dark at first. The afflicted may only feel mild numbness on the affected area of the skin. However, as the disease in its final stages, the disease strips a person of the ability to control...
That sounds terrifying. Wait, hold on. So when Kale seemed to be acting...
Correct. That would be the effects of Elazar, which is precisely why I do not want her carried. With appropriate treatment, the disease can be effectively controlled. Nevertheless, Kale's mother still hoped that there was something out there. She handed Kale over to an organization known as the Fatui after one of their members lied.
What? The Fatui?
Ah, it appears you are already familiar with them. Anyway, the person who eventually rescued Kale and brought her to me for care said that she had been given to a harbinger known as the Doctor. I have no idea how this doctor managed to do it, but her case of Elazar was completely stable for all the years that Kale was with them. However, Kale's days with the Fatui were anything but pleasant. Kale is a resilient individual, and always tries to appear cheerful. But...
Paimon had no...
Oh, by the way, Paimon, Kale wanted me to tell you that she's sorry for...
She doesn't need to apologize.
Well said. I hope you'll get a chance to tell her that Kale once thought that it would be impossible for her to have any real friendships.
Don't worry, Tainari. We'll take good care of her.
Well, it's not too serious at this point. She overexerted herself the last couple of days, though I must admit that Kale's condition... She was interested in the work of the forest rangers the moment she saw us. Her stamina has gotten much worse recently, though a moderate amount... Alright, now that I've told you about Kale's past, I think I'll...
Yeah, we might...
Alright, but I must warn you two. The rainforest is a dangerous place.
No problem.
Let's go then. We'll be looking for a plant known as Nilot Pal...
Hmm.
Hey, Tainari, where exactly are we going to find this plant?
Oh, nggak ada teleportannya. Oke.
Nilot Pala lotuses can be found all over the rainforest, but it often grows right here around Gandharvaville.
Given the name, it sounds like we should be looking for it in the water.
You are correct. Nilot Pala lotus grows in the water. When fully matured, they look like giant blue flowers floating on the water's surface. Quite an attractive species, if you ask me.
Jamur.
The large petals are actually the plant's leaves and sepals, which surround a very small flower. You should note that many of the plants found in Sumeru have names that are contrary to their species. Take the Kalkalata for example. The plant is not a lotus at all, but rather a vine. And then there's the Sumeru rose, which is not a rose, completely contrary to its name.
Okay then. Never bring up the topic of flowers with Tainari.
Tapi tuh biru-biru. Kok di mapnya nggak gitu?
There should be Nilotpala lotuses growing somewhere in this area. If you could manage to gather 4 of them, we'll rendezvous here.
Ding, 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 ding. Oh.
Alright, we've gathered enough Nilotpala lotuses. Let's head back to main Tainari. Hey Tainari,
Let me take a look. I'm quite glad you two came along. Your exploration experience helped save...
Hey, Tainari!
oh, Tainari, someone's calling your name.
Ah, yes, that's Amir and the others. But didn't they... Let's go find out what's going on.
Ding, 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 ding.
Tainari, thank goodness we found you here. We were just about to head back and find you.
What's going on?
We just discovered a withering zone.
The withering is back? But the patrol route you were on should... Can you tell me the exact...
It's up ahead, deep in the river valley. It's appeared in a spot that blocks nearly the entire narrow part of the valley area, so we decided to come find you as quickly as possible.
And the radius of the contamination?
Sorry, I couldn't get a clear enough view to tell.
No one in our patrol team had a vision, and it appeared to still be spreading, so we didn't risk getting any closer.
Okay, I understand. You made the right decision. I'll go deal with it right away. In the meantime, please guide these two back to Gandharvaville.
Wait, Tainari, why don't you let us help you?
You two have only just arrived in Sumeru. You're still unfamiliar with many things in these lands. There's a unique type of anomaly that occurs in the Sumeru rainforest. It's called the withering. The affected areas not only cause nearby vegetation to wither, but it's also lethal to wildlife and even people. If you don't carry a vision, then you should think twice before approaching such places.
Yes, Amir is absolutely right. I wasn't kidding when I said the rainforest is a dangerous place. As Amir said, only someone with a vision, that is, the power to manipulate elements, will be able to resist the withering's corrosive effects for a time.
That's right. If any of the forest rangers without a vision come across a withering zone, we first make a record of the location and then have a ranger with the proper... Only someone with a vision can venture within a withering zone and find a way to deal. But you don't seem to care.
Don't worry, he may not have a vision, but
It seems the rumors about you are true. We typically only teach visitors how to identify the withering as they're about to...
Oke, udah gas lah. Ding, 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 ding.
Stop. Don't move any further. Look there in the distance.
Dapat tuh.
where? Oh, look! Oh, I'm under...
That is the withering. All right, traveler. We're going to have to enter that withering zone. Once inside, we'll... Thank you. But I must warn you. Even with elemental powers, once you step inside the withering zone, you may experience extreme discomfort. You ready then? Let's go. First, we must locate any branches sustaining the withering zone.
Terus nyari.
There is no escape!
Buktinya semua nyari kembali ke buat dalam serang stack Ah, ini
Great work. Now that all the branches have been cleared, we need to take care of the tumor.
ah,
Rain outlines your fate. Shine down.
kalian
Fall into oblivion. There is no escape.
terus kemana loh kalian kita apa ini? Dia harus kayak gitu dong. Belum. Tuh aja nih.
Let's light it up. Illusion shattered.
Now, destroy the tumor of the withering.
Oh. Hancurkan. Oh.
Yes, thanks to you two.
Tainari, you make it sound like we...
It's that obvious, huh? Recently, the rate at which the withering zone appears has been increasing. Even if that simply meant more work for me, then that wouldn't be an issue. For instance, even though we cleared out the withering zone, many of the plants, this presents a crisis for the ecosystem itself. Many plants, and most disturbingly, as the appearances of withering... I'm still not sure of the exact reason. However, I've received none that we know of. The withering has been recorded in Sumeru for millennia. By the way, have you heard of Irminsul before? Irminsul is a tree located deep beneath the surface. Although it isn't really a tree we know in a biological... I'm sure you've heard of ley lines, right? They're like the roots of Irminsul. Ley lines continually absorb the memories of this world, which are then... The Dendro Archon is known as the God of Wisdom because her consciousness is directly connected to it. And as for the withering, its emergence is... That's right. My ancestors learned of this from Greater Lord Rukadevata's familiars along... I'm afraid we Rangers will be battling the withering zones here for... Alright, that's enough on this topic for the time being.
You got that fuck. Thank God, right? Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, Tainari, you all made it back.
How did the withering zone you reported has been taken? Huh. Wait, is that? Oh no, Hypatia!
What? What's wrong, Tainari?
This Duskbird is Hypatia's designated courier for urgent news. You do remember her, don't you? She's the scholar you...
Oh, her? How could we forget?
Let me see what's written in the letter first.
So what's it say? And what's with that weird expression on your face? Just let Paimon read it.
Yes, allow me to explain. After we... She must have just finished. It's been nearly 3 days since she's had anything to eat. And it appears she's forgotten to...
What? You mean she's been sitting there for 3 days?
Well, obviously because this has happened before. Last time she drew 5 lines. Needless to say, Hypatia's been through worse, but I've got some emergency rations set aside for times like these.
Wait, you want us to bring her the rations?
Let's find out. Here. So, how do you feel?
Really? But wait, how'd you know that?
Back when we were clearing the withering zone, I observed that he could adeptly manipulate, and if I may ask, what I was telling you two about Irminsul's ley lines, was what I described similar at all to what you That's correct. Those weren't hallucinations at all. Because what you saw is of significant importance. Not just for the nation of Sumeru, but the entire world of Tibet. My forefathers were shown much favor by Greater Lord Rukadevata. We took an oath to protect this nation together with her. Now that duty has Now, after seeing you in action with my own eyes, you have earned my confidence, and when you passed out, your consciousness had connected directly with Irmin's. I could try to tell you more, but it would be better if you went to ask Hypatia instead. Her focus on meditation...
That sounds nice and all, but will she really help us?
That was because when you ran into her, she was in a special phase of... Please, wait here for... Here, take these. It's a meal I... Also, here's a letter that I would like you to give to her. Just show it... No. I should be the...
Ya itu biar meninggal. Bercanda lah. Yes.
Clear skies can do nothing to hide the brilliance of lightning.
Hypatia should still be in the cave. Let's go inside and see how she's doing.
Berarti si Traveler tuh awalnya dari sini ke CSM kan?
Understand? So, demonstration is not required.
Hello? Hypatia? Maybe she went out to look for some food. Let's try looking around the area.
Ada suara slime. Oh itu dia. Banget. Oh bunuh kan?
There you are. Hypatia.
So hungry.
There's no way we can get her to eat in her Huh? Wait. Why does it look super Huh? How things out here end up looking like this? What happened? Where are we? Really? Oh.
Wow.
This place is huge. I knew there's something off about that cave. Let's think of a way to get over there and have a closer look. Who knows? Maybe we'll find a lead of some kind.
Wow. Apa ini? Wih. Hah? Wow. Bang.
What happened just now? Why'd everything around us suddenly change?
Kayak di Zoom. Oh ini tuh, oh iya gue paham. Itu kita ambil lagi aja.
Insolent.
Adventure time. Everybody stand back. No, my sword.
Nah,
Let's light it up. Let me read you a verse. Shine down. Innocent shines eternal.
apa ini? Wow, wow, menarik. Lawan bos. Lagi. Ya. Oh. Bentar, ini kan ada banyak. Pokoknya ada chat. Hajar aja. Kan perlu belajar juga. Ada chat.
Off we go. What
Sini
is
makan.
going on here? This place is getting weirder by the minute. Hey, what's the matter? You don't look so good.
Oh. Ini tadi. Harus sini. Ya, harus nekat.
Looks like we meet again, traveler. What are you planning to do in this strange place? Plotting. Now before the illusion shattered.
Tadi dia jatuh ya?
Let's light it up.
Ya.
Teamwork is strength. Now you shall perish.
Apa pas air itu?
Shine down. Why can't we beat this guy? Oh, Paimon doesn't get it. We faced others like him before. What's wrong?
Traveler, though you may have managed to avert countless crises
Lupa
before,
di diri.
your good fortune was bound to end sooner or later. It's time you realize how weak and powerless you really are. Your sister. Oh, pitiful traveler, are you really so ignorant? Her Highness has long since forsaken you. Your meager existence in her eyes is that of an annoying bug. The bonds of love and family which drive you to find yours. But don't you fret now. Today will be...
ronde 2 dapat itu. Oh enggak. Itu gimana? Posisi ronde 2 ya. Loh.
What do we do? We haven't seen Hypatia. Oh, there she is. Well, the good news is that she's still conscious. Hey, why'd you drop her food on the floor like that? Are you okay? Anyways, we can talk about this later. Whoa, wait a sec. Look at all this fruit lying around her.
Kok gede banget gitu sih?
Who is there? Tainari, is that you? Huh?
It's okay. You can relax, Hypatia. Tainari sent it.
I see. So, you're friends of Taina? I'm grateful that you came so quickly to save...
Well, actually, we were kind of wondering about that, actually. When we found you here, there was all this fruit lying around.
Oh, really? I seem to understand now. All the fruit was likely from my...
Your neighbor? You mean there's someone else living nearby?
Oh? So you...
Wait, hold on a second, Traveler. You say that before we arrived.
No, I actually do believe what the Traveler is saying. I myself had a similar experience. You needn't worry. They mean you no harm. They only dragged you into the dream because they hoped to buy themselves a
Agar
little
bisa mengeluarkan
time
waktu
in
supaya
order
dia
to scurry away.
So, Hypatia,
I'm not sure what it's called, to be honest. But I do know... I know this because the first time I saw them was also the exact day my consciousness was able to form a connection with Irminsul. Even after I opened my eyes and stopped meditating, my heart was still pounding, and at that very moment, in my curiosity, I began to walk over to the creature. They must have already been used to me living in the... It wasn't until I crouched down next to them.
oh,
And then I had a dream. I was convinced they'd never show up again. I feel like they aren't as afraid of me as the first time I approached them. But I never would have expected them to save me. Yes, no doubt about that. By the way... Sorry about...
well, if somebody hadn't dropped the food earlier... Alright, we're up, Traveler. Today's menu will feature sweet...
sounds good. I've never tried any dishes from other... Time to act.
All done. Let's use the empty box that Tainari... Oh, it smells...
Are you already finished cooking? Even though everything you mentioned was in Tainari's letter, it took me nearly 3 years before I could do so. You should know that some researchers spent their entire lives.
So why does this
The ingredients used to make spirit oil primarily consist of plants created by Greater Lord Ruka Devata. Since the root of the Dendro Archon's power lies within Irminsul, we can occasionally tap into her naturally. Anyone who can stop...
Makes sense. But
That was primarily due to his body's unique constitution. Stimulated by the incense, he could perceive the Dendro Archon's taking in any sense similar to the ingredients of spirit. Not to worry, though. It appears you've all... Technically, your body should still be sensitive to the powers of the Dendro Archon. But unless you're... I must admit, I am quite envious of your abilities. Even if it meant suffering from pounding...
whoa, you're really serious.
I am a researcher as a member of the Ritalis Darshan at the Academia. My main area of research is the stars and their connection, which is why I must turn to the... If only my perception wasn't so limited. Unfortunately, I am currently in the stage of training known as Satyavada life. Sages have said that Irminsul contains divine knowledge, and touching such knowledge with... That's why we meditate a lot.
Whoa. So,
Of course I do. However, I've been feeling that I believe that being able to see them is a sort of... But what's strangest of all is that they're clearly an envoy of the god of wisdom herself.
what's so strange about that? It doesn't sound so out of place for...
Well, it's strange because nearly nobody...
Tidak bisa bermimpi.
Yes, well, to an extent. Only children. The sages say that wisdom implies rationality. But that which occurs in dreams is often neither rational nor... Yes, if one struggles with anxieties, the fact that the people of Sumeru do not have dreams is seen as a blessing by the sages. They believe... I was born into a family of scholars in Sumeru City. I studied hard, enrolled as a student in the academia. But then, on the day I scared the little Aranara, it was incredible. Though I don't exactly remember what I saw back then. I was foolish and ignorant as any youth would be. Just be sure not to speak of it.
So, do you have any thoughts about...
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any answers as of now. What? If only I could ascend past Satyavada life and begin... If you two are ever in the area again, please be sure to come and see me. There's no need to be thanking me. You two are my saviors.
Now that we know Hypatia is alright, and had the chance to ask her some questions...
So guys, mungkin segini aja